You're listening to the Awkward Hi-5 podcast. You can follow along in your book. You'll know it's time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this.
Sure. Go ahead, shoot.
Well, for instance, what are your qualifications?
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified?
Waiting for him now?
And miming it out.
That one's annoying.
I like that one.
I want more fireworks.
More report, whatever.
We get some of those Chinese firecrackers.
Those things are the best because it says, like, you read them and it says, oh, fucking teddy bear, starfish, and a unicorn are going to report when you shoot this up. And you're like, holy shit, that's going to be awesome. And it's just your standard sparkles.
I saw once, and I swear that this is true, and I've told this story before, and people have told me that it was bullshit, and I don't know. But I remember being a kid watching the fireworks over the New York fireworks, watching them on TV or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were shooting off fireworks, and they were your regular, circles and weeping willows and all the standard ones. And at one point, a firework shot the fuck off, and there was it was a picture of a telephone.
What?
And it said AT&T underneath.
Are you
it.
serious?
I swear to God.
Wow.
But I've told people this story, and they said that I was nuts. But
I believe it.
But it had to be like if it wasn't the late '80s, it had to be the early '90s. So it's not like they had the because now with fireworks they actually use computers, like they could plan shit out there,
Yeah.
But back then they had to pack a firework that made a phone and said AT&T.
Like a Chinese guy with like a flaming stick had to go over and stick it.
Welcome to the Awkward Hi-5 podcast. My name is Devin.
It's getting more awkward. I'm Rich.
Awkward. I'm saying it right off the bat. Flat iron building. Flat iron building.
Well, let's go wave to each other.
We recognize the fact that we're stupid.
Then what's a flatron? Because that sounds so familiar.
But just even the fact, and if you even listen to it, because afterwards I realized how dumb we were, and I went back while I was editing the episode, and I listened to it. And I even say something. I'm like, it's the something iron building, and then you're like, is it? And we're just like we got into this black hole of stupidity.
Then how did you believe Flatron? Because doesn't that sound familiar?
Yeah, right. I have no idea. We just spit it out. Anyway,
Flatron sounds way more New York.
Of course, it's the Flatiron Building. We're not.
It should be called more of the Fork Building.
the fork in the road.
Exactly. We just really have to go there and wave to each other because, like, whether we use it as anything or not, I just want to own that picture so I could laugh. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, no, we could use it for an AHI5 promo piece. Yeah. We need more imaging for this show.
I know.
Like
we will.
The logo is something I slapped together. The beginning is something I slapped. Everything.
All the other art are things people gave as gifts.
Yeah, right. And if there's anybody out there that's listening to this who's like a visual artist, or you fancy yourself an artist and you want to make take a shot at making a logo for here, we can't pay anything, but if we like it, we'll use it,
and you get full credit.
I asked before we even put these episodes on the air, I asked our most artistic friend to make a logo for us, and he was like, yeah, and I think he even sent me kind of a draft once, and then he was like, well, I want to like do a little bit more for it, and then I never heard anything about it again, which is fine. I get it. Everyone's busy.
That's right.
And like
I'm not too busy to do favors for people, though.
We're not. Good point. Yeah, we can't pay anything, but hey, if you want to help the show out, that is one of the ways that you could help the show out. Also, if you want to help the show out, follow us on Twitter at awkwardhi5, and like us on Facebook, and subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, and leave a review so that we could have our 100 review party, which we will have once we have 100.
Things are going to go down there. I just have a question. Have things been going on in the Twitter sphere?
Twitter is slow I don't understand why.
I know it is. I was just wondering if anyone gave it a shot. Right?
Yeah, no, the people follow us, and there's a solid bunch of people that they'll either tweet the show or they'll tweet me about the,
That's good enough.
Yeah, no, it's
how much can you tweet?
It's totally great.
Yeah.
The reason that I want people to follow us on Twitter is because I want there to be more of an interaction. So
yeah,
like
you could even probably get a little private little skit of a show while you're on Twitter.
Well, we could start doing
It don't stop. The fun don't stop.
The fun never stops.
No.
Over here. We could start doing periscopes and putting those up.
Yeah.
We could start doing contests. Shit like that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's why
It's up to you, people.
So follow
It
us.
could be as big as you want it to be.
Awkward. Wow, you're sounding real motivational today.
I know.
You in a good mood?
Yeah, I think it's the Valium.
Yeah, you were telling me before the show that you took a little Valium just to take the edge off of what's going on.
I want to make just a real quick update. I don't want to spend too much time on it since everyone knows my life story. But I've been doing really,
hang on for a second.
really fucking good. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm drug-free fucking USA or anything, but I'm substituting a really bad drug with some smaller, easier drugs. Just take the edge off because it's going really well.
So basically what you're saying is that it's been a while since you've used your main crutch.
Right.
Now, listeners of the show who have listened to all the episodes, they've kind of been on this journey with you so far.
Yeah.
And there was a proclamation before the holidays that you were shooting for Christmas.
I know. It's tough, man.
No, of course. And I don't think anybody was holding you to that, and nobody's disappointed. But it's also good that you haven't done the complete slide down where it's like,
I didn't make Christmas. Might as well fucking shoot it in my neck.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right. No. It was just more motivation to me. But what I'm doing is, as anyone who's been through it knows, that you got to take other things to take the edge off, or else you pretty much want to die. So all I did is a little Valium, a little bit of marijuana, and I'm just kind of chill right now. Still got the anxiety. Still don't feel 100%, but I'm not what I would have been without it, and I'm not even thinking about using the worst stuff,
Yeah.
Just chilling.
What would you say is the worst part about it? Is it the anxiety?
I mean, for me, it's the anxiety. You get like when you get deep into it, you get really bad leg cramps. You don't want to get up, but then when you lay down, you don't get comfortable. There's that when it's hot. You strip naked, and then you're ice, and you put on clothes. There's no in between. Mm-hmm. It's just the total people compare it to the flu, which is the dumbest thing. I'll take the flu over this shit any day.
Oh, sure, right.
But it's just a lot of struggling. It's a lot of pillow punching. It's a lot of fucking, you don't want to deal with shit, but at the same time, when you keep your mind occupied, you don't think about it as much. So it's such an awkward situation. It's such a how the hell did I put myself in a situation? And I think that's what always leads people to do the drugs again, because you just want to get it over with. You don't want to wait out there. Because people say 3-4 days and you're good. Lie.
Yeah,
Lie.
well, I don't think anybody who has...
I'm creeping up on 7 here, and let me tell you, it's just as bad as it was 3 days ago.
Right.
It's just, you just got to find your ways to... deal with shit.
And you've been through this before because you've been to 30-day rehabs.
Yeah, but it's different when you're in rehab. They give you drugs and wean you off of them, and you have no choice.
Right.
When you're somewhere where you can't get high, you don't get as sick. If you're at home and you have cash in your pocket and you call your dealer and you can't get drugs, you're more sick just for the mental potential of you getting your drugs and not being able to.
Right.
Like I said before, you buy your drugs, put them in your pocket, and before you do them, you're feeling better than you were before.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
So mental.
Yeah, right. I get that, and I get that. I'll be in a bad mood all day, but if it's Saturday and I had a shitty day, but I know I'm going to go out and drink that night, like when 6 or 7 o'clock rolls around, I start getting into a good mood because I know that sooner or later I'm going to forget all my problems and hang out with my friends for a little bit and get nuts or whatever.
No doubt.
And I'm sure it's the same thing on that level.
Yeah.
Would you say though that when you're in rehab, because I've never been to a rehab, maybe there's points in my life where I should have, but
rehab's the new black.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought that was pink. But would you say because there's like a thing that happens in hospitals sometimes where like people actually enjoy. I'm not one of them. I can't stand hospitals. I want to get out of there as quick as possible. But I know that it's an actual thing where people like being in hospitals because they feel like
safer.
They're taken care of, right?
Well, I mean, that makes sense in a way, but when I was in rehab, all I did was look out the window. It was the end of August, beginning of September. I stayed there through Labor Day, thinking I could be out barbecuing my front. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you look
I get
out
that.
the window. It sucks. They do keep you like on a regiment. They kind of not only keep you off the drugs, but kind of make you reacclimated to normal society. Like make you wake up at 5:30 in the morning, brush your teeth, eat your breakfast, do your chores. It's kind of like a become a human being again thing.
Right.
Even though those motherfuckers need to brush their teeth because everyone in rehab has gingivitis. So stay away from people.
How many people did you make out with in rehab?
0.
Really?
0.
None worth it?
There's such a non-fraternizing rule. People pass notes, but dude, those girls are fucking creatures from the Black Lagoon.
They're like the sewer people from Futurama.
There was this one girl, Hannah. She was a nerd. She wore glasses, but there was some freak in that geek. You know what I mean? And everyone else liked these other skanky girls, but I was always like, sweet, sweet Hannah. You know what I mean? What I would do to those glasses. So fucking one day, some guy comes up to me, he's like, 2 months ago, if you had a couple bags, you would have fucked the shit out of Hannah.
And probably 2 months from now.
Where's sweet Hannah now?
Yeah.
Probably on the business end of a big eggplant.
Probably. Well, I would like to think positively, but it seems like most people who get out of rehab just kind of fall back into the hole, right?
Yeah. It's a 1% success rate.
Well, we don't have to. Whatever.
Yeah, no. I just want to say one more thing about rehab. It's
no, go ahead. Say all you want.
When you're in rehab, man, you're around a bunch of people that are just as maybe dirtier than you. So you get new ideas, you get new connections, because all those people, most of them are in there for an oil change, which is just to lower your tolerance. So when you get out of rehab, you get fucking high again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's when most of those, the ones that aren't PTI'd and court ordered. You're going there to change your oil. That's why everyone sits in the back row. They call it rehab row.
What do you think the percentages?
I mean, a relapse row. I'm sorry, relapse row.
What do you think the percentages of people that go to rehab that actually like wholeheartedly go there because they want to get clean?
Well, out of the 1% success, I would say less than 1%.
Yeah, right. So, well, I'm not saying success-wise. So, like,
okay, you're not saying
I'm saying like so
maybe 30%.
Yeah, so you think like out of every 10 people, 3 of them are there saying like, I actually want this to get out of my life.
Because when I was there, I actually wanted to do it. I left there, I actually wanted to do it. There was some events that made it not happen, things that I had to do, not necessarily doing drugs, but things that I had to do that led me to the drugs. Like, loose ties or business that I had to take care of coming home that led me to drugs that I really had no desire to do. And then you do something, thinking you could do something once as like a reward or as one isn't going to do it. And then, of course, that snowballs.
Well, I mean, that's the scary thing. And to be completely honest with you, this is one of the things that I worry. I commend you for the effort that you're making right now, but I am worried about that, because...
What, oil change?
Well, no, I'm just worried about like what happens when you got a couple bucks in your pocket and it's summertime and you're partying and you're feeling good.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like almost.
I think about it all the time.
If you have to, if you really want to quit something this severe, you almost have to make a pact with yourself that under no circumstances are you ever going to do that again.
Right. Right.
I remember watching a show. I remember watching a show where it was one of those like extreme weight loss shows. I might have even talked about it on here before. I don't know, because I tell this story all the time.
Doesn't sound familiar, but continue.
A dude was like 800 pounds. He was like one of those wash your back with a fucking rag on a stick guys.
Yeah.
Moo wearing fucking motherfucker. Like the mom from What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Like just burn down the house when he dies because there's no way you're getting him out kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he was sick of his life. He went through and his thing was hot dogs. He just loved fucking hot dogs.
That made me sick just saying.
I know. He's from New York. Loved hot dogs. Lost like something like insane.
Was his name Carmine?
I don't know what his name was.
Carmine eats a lot of hot dogs.
He lost like fucking. If he was 800 pounds, he lost 600 pounds. He got down to a normal dude.
That's great.
Normal 200-pound dude. Let's say 250, but whatever he was not deathly obese anymore.
Right.
And he said that he kept that up for like a year. He was like fucking just thin for a year, loving life. I think he like got a girlfriend and shit, was doing better at his job,
right?
all this stuff. He said after a year he was in Coney Island and he was just like,
smell the dog.
he was like, I'm just, as a reward for the 1 year, I'm just gonna let myself
What
have.
it is, bro. It's the reward.
He said, I'm just gonna have myself eat one dog. And he said that he ate one dog, and then the next day he went back and he ate two, and the next day he went back and he ate three, and within 3 months he was back to the 800 pounds.
3 months.
Yeah,
800.
something like that. Not maybe a little bit more. I don't know what's physically
That's
possible.
a lot of dogs.
Yeah, dude. But like once he got that sweet hot dog in his mouth, he couldn't stop. And that, but that is an addict. That's how addicts
Right.
act. And it's so. And hot dogs, I guess, could be just as deadly as heroin, but it's scary.
Probably worse.
And like we had a friend that was a heroin addict that we dealt with when we were younger, and I remember him. He was clean like at a certain point. I think he had also gone to rehab. He might have even just done it.
I don't ever think he was clean.
Yeah, there was a point where he just got out of
He was
jail.
taking Suboxone.
Whatever it was, he wasn't on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he had gotten out, and I remember we was after band practice, and we were hanging out in the backyard, and it was like super sunny out, and we were all drinking beers. And he wasn't like a big beer drinker and stuff, and he was like just kind of. And this dude was like so outgoing and always the life of the party, and he was just sitting there like just staring out into the sun and like just quiet. And I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And he was like, all I want to do right now is get high. Like he was like, it's a beautiful day. I'm barbecuing with my best friends. I just want to be high right now. And he like straight out said it. And I remember thinking at that time, like, wow, that's fucking got to be a strong addiction. If like that's all you care, like you can't just have a couple beers or maybe smoke some weed with us. You like the only way that you're going to enjoy this beautiful New Jersey summer day with your buddies after a really good band practice is by doing heroin,
And that's a super weird thing about heroin and maybe even other drugs for some other people is that, like you said, you're partying with your friends, you're having the time of your life. You make an association in your head that if you had those drugs, your time would be better. So you get those drugs, you do your whatever, you set it up, you do them, and then you might get a little high. Things might get a little different. Your head changes a little, but it doesn't change the situation one bit. You're right back where you were before you did all that. So a lot of people like really get addicted to the whole act of doing it.
Right.
Getting it. Setting it up, putting it in your pen, putting it in your body, waiting for that rush. But then it's over. And you're the same. Maybe if you felt like shit, you're not feeling like shit anymore. But if you weren't feeling like shit, you're the same. You're doing the same shit you would have done without doing it. You know?
No, I get it. I get it.
It's stupid.
I get that way with alcohol sometimes. Like when there's like periods where I'm drinking to excess. There's like, I've had that a couple times where I've been like in the middle of a party and I've been like really drunk and like hanging out. And I just out of nowhere just thought to myself, I'm not having fun right now. I don't want to be drunk right now.
I know what you mean.
I can never relate to your level of things. But yeah, like I'm sure that everybody goes through that,
That is what it is.
Well, anyway,
yeah,
I'm glad that you're actually.
I just wanted to make that announcement.
Yeah, no, and everybody wants to hear about it. So,
all right. Well, that's that.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about it before we move on?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, keep us updated, good or bad. That's the whole thing. Is I hope you'd be honest enough to come in and be like,
I always will be.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I watched the Super Bowl, or the big game, as you're supposed to say, on Sunday. Did you watch it?
Yeah. Well, I watched some of it because it seemed like a season one. It seemed like a what's it called? Preseason game.
Yeah.
know?
Well, you're a football fan.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not, and it's not. I'm not saying that in the way of like, oh, football's stupid or anything like that. I just don't. I understand the sport. I watch it at least once a year. I just personally just doesn't jive with me. It's not my thing. But I was watching this game, And like normally on Super Bowl Sunday, you're normally at like a big party, and so there's a lot that you could do to kind of avoid watching the game, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody like me, like there's always chicks in the kitchen you could go talk to or hang out with, whatever.
Make a sub.
Yeah, do something. I went over at my friend's house, and there wasn't a lot of people there. It was just 4 of us. We were just hanging out, like, you know, like I guess everybody was doing their own thing. So I really sat down and like watched the game. I didn't even get too drunk, you know. I just kind of hung out.
It wasn't a very boring Super Bowl.
Well, I can't gauge the boringness of football because I don't find it very exciting anyway. You know, I understand it, like if somebody, like if there's a big play or something like that. Like I understand
what you
that.
wait for, yeah.
But what I did see that I couldn't understand is 2 things. One, I watched I don't know how long the game is, like 3 hours, let's say, with everything.
With commercials and shit? Yeah, 3 hours.
I watched 3 hours of commercials with a tiny bit of sports in between the commercials.
Right.
To think that the Super Bowl is the main event is not true. And I'm not saying that in the way that, the commercials are so cool, because the commercials weren't fucking good either. And I never agreed with that. Like, our whole lives I've been hearing that people are like, the commercials for the Super Bowl are so great.
Yeah,
they're
never that great.
And also, they're fucking commercials. Like, at the very end of it, who cares how good they are? It's still some evil corporation trying to hawk its bullshit on you, you know? But anyway, this one, and I don't know if it's gotten progressively worse, and I believe that it has because the whole world has. But man, it would literally, there was points where it would be like 3 minutes of commercials, it would shoot back to the football game, and then within 30 seconds, it would shoot back to 3 minutes of commercials.
Yeah.
And then also, another thing that I saw, and I'm sure that I don't know how long this is going on or whatever, but like a play, there was a penalty on the play because one guy was just talking shit to another guy.
Yeah, well, that's a big thing. The referees were kind of biased in this game, I believe, and a lot of people believe that too.
But how is that? You're not allowed to talk shit?
Well, it's gotten very sensitive.
Yeah,
It's football.
I don't understand. Yeah. I just don't. I don't understand this. I don't understand how football, in the way that it's become, is going to continue to be the national sport. I don't get it.
It's turning into when Vince McMahon tried to start a football team and
the XFL,
something like that.
Yeah, well, at least that was like like that was more about like the cheerleaders humping each other,
like
and the guys were.
It was the wrestling of football.
Yeah, right. But this, like, I watched this game in all honesty, just trying to get into the game, trying to enjoy it. You know, I picked the team to root for and everything. I was like, I'm going to get into this. And it's not like I'm some girl. Like, I understand football. I've grown up with football. I've played a billion football video games when I was younger. So I know what plays are. I know what safeties and blitzes are. It's not like I'm stupid. I know the game. And it was impossible for me to watch.
Well, a huge problem with this Super Bowl is that it was a defensive team Super Bowl. Like, with the exception of Peyton Manning and Cam Newton, of course, you're going to have a good quarterback. But it was a team with a great defense versus a team with a great defense. So you're not going to get a lot of amazing plays. It's going to be a lot of turnovers and punts. A lot of punts, because 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, field goals. You know, no one's really going to get into the end zone.
No, I get it. But I'm not even talking about the plays.
Well, that takes a lot away from the sport.
But I'm not even talking about that. Like, what I'm saying is
the usage of time.
The game that was actually played, the small amount of game that was actually played out on that field could have been crazy exciting. You know what I mean? Like, it could have just been the pinnacle of excitement for football fans. But still, the amount of commercials and referee interference.
Yeah. Well, football games are a total of an hour long, but you have a 3-hour thing. So the Super Bowl is actually only 1/3 of what you're watching in those 3 hours.
Yeah, it's insane, and it almost speaks to where America is in like commercialism and everything like that. It's almost like there's a whole nation of people that are just cheering for commercials. And then the whole halftime show is just a fucking commercial. You know, everything's just one big commercial. There's no substance to it whatsoever. You know, there's no creativity behind it. It's all just about numbers. It's all just about, how they're going to push these products. And then, there's this game in between. And then when I saw how watered down the game has become, that was even more to me where, I was like, ugh, how I just don't understand how people, there has to be people dropping out of football left and right. Or the question that I have, is it just such a thing that's ingrained in us now that even if you don't like it, you'll continue to watch it?
That could be a thing.
Yeah, like a bad sitcom, like that just falls off.
That's what, because we identify with these things, that's what made us musicians and not athletes, because dealing with music, even though unless you're a fan of the pop music or whatever, you don't deal with this shit. You go see your band, they barely even stop between songs. You hear all music, you buy their CD, and there's no fucking sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's the Super Bowl equivalent of bands, and I would say that
but those are the bands that we don't listen to.
The Super Bowl equivalent of bands were on that stage that night.
Shit, speaking of bands, someone that I used to be really close to, a friend of mine, her cousin's been an amazing, younger than us, been an amazing musician his whole life. His first band was called The Love Like Pie. It was kind of like this electronica crap that it was actually a good CD. But
Great guy, shitty band.
Yeah, well, the crap was good. It was really good. What they were going for was really good. They might even been a little ahead of their time. But
what was it, like Aphex Twins? Or
no.
Daft Punk?
No, not at all. It was good music with just electronic shit over it. But
I think Aphex.
The drummer, who's actually a really good drummer, I'm not going to say names, but the dude's name, I think is Chris. And he's now the front man and guitar player. He went from drummer to front man. And this band is actually really good. I heard their second single, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of Taking Back Sunday, which made me like, ooh. But their first single, it was really cool. I would describe it as like Silver Sun Pickups meets... fucking A, some punk rock band or hardcore band that's really cool. They're called Can't Swim.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
You know what I was going to say?
I just read an article about them in NewJersey.com. Yeah. I think put an article up.
Yeah, that's Melinda's cousin, Chris. He's the front man.
Yeah.
Really good musician. He's a very talented kid. And like they got signed without even going on tour or anything. I just hope they do really good because that kid deserves it. He's been working hard at it his whole life. So props to those dudes.
I watched the video because they linked the video.
That first song where they're in the warehouse with the girl, and that song's great. I love that song.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm very happy that there's musicians from around here that are
from the Berg.
This is also the way that I feel about the band, the Gaslight Anthem, who are from New Brunswick, which is where we fucking made our bones and all that shit when we were playing in bands and stuff like that. And I've met some of those guys. I don't know any of them very personally, but we all ran in kind of the.
Who are we talking about again?
The Gaslight Anthem.
Oh yeah.
We all ran in kind of the same groups, and I've met Brian, the singer, a couple times, and he's a fantastically nice guy.
Yeah,
a great talent. And I'm very proud of the heights that they've reached as a band because they represent the scene that we came from.
Yeah.
However, the music isn't for me.
Yeah, because I never liked Bruce.
And well, it's not even that. Whatever.
Because it's Bruce's fucking child.
Well, it's just whatever it is. I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything bad about the band. I understand.
I'm not saying anything bad. I'm trying to tell you what it is.
Yeah, and I'm going to say I listened to that Can't Swim band, and I'm going to say the same thing.
Really?
You know? Yeah. The music.
What do you think they sound like?
It did give me that kind of Taking Back Sunday kind of thing.
I know, but that one song, because I like the Silver Sun Pickups.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave me that kind of vibe.
No, I get it. Look, my opinion does not mean anything about anything.
Neither does mine, but I'm going to tell you what I think.
But what I'm saying is I just personally, I'm not a big fan of the band, but I wish them the best of luck.
Of course.
And that's cool that somebody, especially from this area, because they're like from Monmouth County, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's very cool.
From the Berg.
Yeah. So anyway, that was just what I wanted to say about and I just wonder if there's any football fans out there, like a diehard football fans that feel the same thing, or do they know it?
Well, right here, you're talking to one. I mean, I love football. I couldn't wait for Sundays to make a sandwich and stay in my pajamas and watch football.
Okay, but is that the thing, right?
That's the thing for me.
Is football more of an event or is it more of a sport?
You know where I stand.
No, go ahead.
Event.
Yeah, I also agree with that.
Yeah. The only thing that's a sport is baseball and hockey. I can't think of another sport, or basketball, but even that's kind of show biz.
Yeah, I don't know much about. Like everything. Of course, you're talking about the four major sports right now. So of course, there's going to be commercial intervention.
Yeah.
Of course, there's going to be the rules have changed to make it safer or more family oriented. It's happened in all four sports. I just don't think that anything has happened as extreme, especially when you go from a game where the whole game is about people destroying each other.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, football isn't played anywhere else in this world, so we could do whatever the fuck we want with it.
Right. But
There's no other stuff.
But they're changing it into such a milquetoast version of itself.
They have to because of how much money's brought in.
Yeah, no, I
They
look.
have to have fucking, the Blue Angels flying overhead and fucking Beyonce coming out as a black tiger and all that, and
a Black Panther.
or whatever the fuck. And,
She came out as a black tiger. That'd be awesome. It'd be like the black or white Michael Jackson video.
yeah, Chris Martin skipping up singing Bono, and I wanted to just sweep his leg and drop an elbow on his teeth.
Okay, you're a drummer. What was up with that fucking drummer?
I don't know.
They must have told him.
Embarrassing. I wanted to ostrich myself when I was watching.
They must have told him beforehand, like, you guys have to act like cartoon characters.
Yeah.
The first thing I saw was that drummer with that big smile on his face hitting those mallets.
Yeah. Oh,
and I was like,
God,
oh, stop.
I know.
The whole thing gave me douche chills from the beginning.
Oh,
man.
where was I chilling heavy? Oh, I was watching Breaking Bad again. Mm-hmm. And when fucking Walt Jr. revs the engine of his new car, I just want to come up from the back seat, wrap up his neck, and just squeeze. Fucking hate that kid. My dad have an A1 day. I just want to fucking kill him.
So,
not because he's a palsy, just because I hate him.
So who do you want to knock out more, Walt Jr. or a drummer from Coldplay at the Super Bowl?
Walt Jr.
Really?
But then higher than Walt Jr. goes fucking Daniel Stern.
Oh, yeah. You still hate on Daniel Stern.
Hate him.
So, like, you're not ever going to watch The Wonder Years?
I'll watch The Wonder Years because I don't got to see his face.
But his voice...
It's all about the face.
So no Home Alone for you?
No Home Alone. Oh, no Home Alone for me, no. No Home Alone, no Very Bad Things. No, I just cannot look at that fucking dude again for the rest of my life.
Wow. I've never met anybody that had such a Daniel Stern
Dude,
hate.
it runs deep.
I would say that you're probably the only person in the world that dislikes Daniel Stern.
Yeah, well, more people need to watch Very Bad Things, and then we'll just form one long clothesline and take his ass out.
I got to watch that movie again because...
Speaking of, you got to get the clip of Jake the Snake.
I watched the trailer.
Did you?
Yeah.
Shut the hell up.
I didn't hear that line, though.
You didn't?
No.
He's all fat on the turnbuckles with the mic, barely could sit up, and he's like, shut the hell up.
I saw the footage of maybe after this we'll put on Twitter the trailer up for anybody who hasn't seen it. There's two trailers, but I saw the one where he's like, I guess he's all fucked up or whatever, and he's in the ring, and then the guy doesn't even like touch him, and he just falls over.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the.
It's when he first comes out. And then, like, the promoter's like, what do I do? And they're like, go in and take a DDT. So, like, the fucking, like, promoter guy runs in, gets a DDT, and just Jake walks out, doesn't even spread Damien on him. Just fucking walks out like, shut the hell up.
And you're right. Well, we did Beetlejuice was the opening clip to this show, and fucking Diamond Dallas Page looked like fucking Beetlejuice.
Yes,
he looked like old
thin Beetlejuice.
Yeah, like an old thin Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
he looks like the way Michael Keaton looks now, basically, with like the no hair and like just kind of. It's weird.
I like Michael Keaton.
I love Michael Keaton.
I love that dude.
But it's weird when like dudes, not that Michael Keaton ever was, but like wrestling guys and like football guys and stuff like that are like big guys, like kind of deteriorate as they get older and like become small dudes, small old men. It's always very weird.
Something's up with Dallas. That has to be some type of cancer. He is so little.
I think it's just they stopped
You
doing
just
steroids.
think that's it?
They just stopped doing steroids.
But he even looks shorter.
Well, you could get shorter as you get older.
Really?
You know, I'm not going to say that all football people, baseball people, players, all that shit have done steroids because those are real sports. But I mean, it's almost to a T that every wrestler has done. Yeah, I mean,
like Triple H,
and especially from that era. So yeah, you almost have to. Yeah, you know, like and that happens. You know, like dudes stop doing steroids and that
they shrink.
You lose all of that muscle mass.
Yeah. No doubt. But usually they get flabby or whatever. DDP is just like,
well, he's doing yoga. He's got his yoga.
Oh, the yoga. Yeah, true.
That's how he's making his money. In the trailer, he's actually wearing like a DDP yoga fucking shirt and shit. And it looks like one of those shitty tapped out fucking sticky shirts.
Hey, Jake, why don't you put on one of my yoga outfits? Shut the hell up.
Yeah, maybe we'll put the trailer up. I want to see the movie. You've definitely got me locked in. I'm going to watch it.
I haven't seen it yet. That one part. I just can't stop.
Anyway, that's what I wanted to say about the football. Any thoughts on the Super Bowl?
No, just, I know where you're coming from. Football for me has become more of just excited to be Sunday and winter and food and pajamas. And it's just, just a relaxation day, like I really, I never get to see my favorite team. They're on the West Coast, so I get to see them maybe once a year if they play the Bills. You know what I mean? But that's about it.
And I understand the ritual around it. I totally understand it.
Well, that's my whole state. That's why I smoke. That's pretty much why I do anything.
I'm saying I understand the ritual for everybody. I get why people want to go to a bar. I get why people want to hole up at home and make nachos and just chill out and be fat all Sunday. I get it. But at what point are people going to start saying the product that they're giving me is shit and I don't want to fucking watch it anymore?
Well, I noticed that what teams tried to do is they tried to pretty much eliminate the running game. You'll see a handoff 1 out of every 50 plays now. Everything is just air ball. And that's because they know that that's what's going to keep people's attention. They want to see the bomb. Who doesn't want to see that bomb? Right. You know what I mean? You give the guy a handoff, he runs 2 feet, and 1,000 fat guys fall on him. Not my idea of a good time. You know what I mean?
But I'm pretty sure that and I'm speaking out of school here because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that football purists, people who have been watching the sport for 15 years, would want to see that because that's part of the game. The thing is, are you playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, or are you just putting on a spectacle?
They're putting on a spectacle. Right. But I would love to see a handoff where the dude breaks out and then he's out. But you see that 1 in a million, man. That don't happen no more. Right. Those guys up front are so big and so metallic it up. They just want to clothesline. But that's one thing I love about football is that at the beginning of the game, they show the lineup, wide receiver, Tennessee State, One Love. You know what I mean? All wide receivers, black guys. All defensive ends, defensive lines, black guys. Offensive line, metalheads. Defensive
end. With mullets.
Yeah, long ass hair, Metallica tattoos, you know what I mean? John, San Francisco. You know what I mean? Then
Megadeth.
Exactly. And then you get the tight end that's always an abnormally tall white guy. I don't know why the tight end has to be white there. I don't get it. I guess because he has to be tall and husky. Running backs, black. Fullback, big fat white guy. Quarterback has been turning into brothers, but it always used to be a white man's game. Now the black guys are, I guess, starting to learn how to read so they can be quarterbacks. And that's for me not to have.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I don't give a shit, dude. Special teams are usually really fast, scrappy white guys, and the punter is usually a dude from fucking Uruguay or Czechoslovakia that knows how to kick a ball 100 feet. You know what I mean? So,
I was going to say, where are the Hispanics and the well, I guess has there ever been an Asian besides a Samoan?
Samoan, yeah. I've never seen Bing Lin running.
There's never been a receiver that's just this super fast Asian guy and whatever. He can just jump real high.
I've never seen it. I'm sure there's maybe Hines Ward's got a little something in him because he looks weird, but it might be Indonesian. Who the fuck do I know? But whatever.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not fully racist. It's just the obvious.
Yeah, well, look.
It's obvious.
Yeah, I get it.
If you can't face the facts that that's what a football team looks like, then you're fucking just not looking hard enough.
But I am going to say, I am going to correct you that if you've made it to the point where you're playing on a major league football team, I'm pretty sure you could read at that point.
Yeah, the plays.
Oh, come on.
It's not like they're pulling up with Tolstoy.
All right, yeah, maybe you're right about that. No, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that's what I mean. Is
they get free grades from their teachers?
Yeah.
Oh, you got an F this year, but I'll give you a C. Oh, word.
No, I know. But the product of football,
or sweet,
and I don't know, and I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure there's people out there that are listening to this and being like, "You're a fucking idiot. You don't know anything. The game's great."
But I don't care. It's my opinion, and
No, I'm talking about me, what I'm saying. But I get worried about that with baseball, and I don't want to talk sports this long, but baseball just started with the fucking replay shit, and it sucks. It's the worst thing. It takes away from the game. It stops it for sometimes for up to 3 or 4 minutes in the middle of a fucking play because they have to get everything right. Stop. That was the main thing that I'm watching that game. Every time an exciting play happened, all of a sudden there's a flag, and then that fucking. Which, by the way, you got a referee. His first name's Cleat.
Oh, that little screw bag.
His parents knew he was going to like sports that much that they actually named him after the shoe that the motherfuckers wear?
I know. Well, that might be a nickname, but like he's like the sport equivalent to that little homo that raised the price of AIDS medicine. They're like in the same boat.
All right, well, whatever.
Twerps, a boat of twerps.
Anyway, every time I got into that game, fucking a whistle was blown, a flag went up in the air, and then Cleet came running out and fucking pointing at the camera, and I was like, I can't do it. I would go insane trying to watch football.
I know.
It would be the most frustrating
I think
experience.
I feel with my authority problems. Jesus Christ.
No, well, that might be part of it too.
I want to like run up in the stands and get one of them pea shooters like right in the neck.
And then the whole Beyonce thing, I just want to say, I said this earlier on the social
Dude, she
media.
ain't what she used to be, man. She used to be hot, and I bet you that thing smells like fucking like Manhattan clam chowder.
Well, it just probably smells like Jay-Z's fucking.
Ugh.
But everyone's freaking out because she's doing like a Black Lives Matter, what they're calling an anti-police thing. Here's what I want to say, and I said it earlier, not on this podcast, out in the world, but how are we living in a country where everybody's mad at Beyonce because they think that she's anti-police, and one of the top grossing movies last year was a biopic about a band that actually sang a song called Fuck the Police.
I know.
There's got to be some sort of hypocritical action going on there.
That's something I can't get into because we are so twisted as a people. We don't know what the fuck is right, what is wrong, and we'll just, go along with whatever the fuck everybody else
Well,
does.
no, I think what it is people are just looking for something to make an outrage out of, and
Oh yeah,
but I almost like it because the further it goes, the more people are going to start dismissing it, and then these things aren't going to have legs anymore. You see what I'm saying?
I hope so.
Yeah, it has to happen. There has to be enough rational people out there.
I don't know.
Because
I just hope so.
Because I mean, like, I watched that fucking halftime show. I didn't know what that song was about, and I didn't know that she had a music video that showed black kids in hoods and like said "Stop shooting us" or whatever.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I fucking agree with, but it doesn't matter what my opinion is.
Right.
And I didn't know all that. But and so what? The girls are fucking dressed up like fucking the Black Panthers. Who gives a fuck? These people get mad when they watch Forrest Gump. Like who gives? Like,
yeah, isn't that part of freedom of speech?
Yeah, right. And then to wake up the next morning and see this outrage by people.
It's gonna be like that, man. We can't get outraged over the outrage because then it's always gonna happen now. It's always gonna happen.
No, I'm not outraged over the outrage, and 99.99% of the time, I don't even comment. I don't even be a part of it.
Nah, me too.
But I saw that inconsistency today. It just popped in my mind because I just watched Straight Outta Compton, and so it's got to be the same people that are celebrating NWA are against Beyonce. It doesn't make any sense.
And I did, however, comment on something today which had nothing to do with that. But coming from me, someone who has a really hard time with authority, has been abused many times. I actually had a chance to talk to some local police officers the other day, and I got to explain to them how they hit us with the whole "why you nervous" thing. But it's like, dude, damn well you went to school to learn how to make us nervous, so you could say that question, so you could come prying in our shit. And I had the opportunity to explain it, and I explained it very well. They laughed. It made me feel good about myself. Anyway, beyond that is I did watch a video where a black guy got pulled over. He was a pizza delivery guy. The cops were giving him a hard time. He could have got shot or whatever. But it's like, oh my God, these cops are abusing their power. They look like such dicks. This is coming from someone who doesn't like police. So please take this seriously. This fucking dude was calling the cops bro.
Right.
He was like, why you doing this to me, nigga? And the cop was like some white guy from Tennessee. Like, you don't talk like that. And like, maybe I have a problem talking to the cops. But
I was going to say, that kind of sounds like getting pulled over with you.
But I never ever go that far. It's just more of if I start off as a good person, then get treated like a piece of shit for no reason, then you're going to get the piece of shit.
Right.
It's never like, here, you're a cop, you're just going to get the shitty side of me no matter what. No. It's usually, I'll start off good, you accuse me of something that's not happening and don't believe what I'm saying, or just automatically treat me like shit, then I'm going to treat you like shit. That's human nature.
Right.
I don't care if you're a cop, I don't care if you're fucking Jesus Christ re-erected. You talk to me like that.
Re-erected?
Resurrected. You talk
Jesus
to me.
Christ, his boner came back.
You talk to me like that for no reason, just because you're dressed in a certain way, then I don't give a shit. I'm going to let you know exactly who, what you are, and exactly what it is.
Right. And that's your problem, and you shouldn't do that.
But, well, too bad.
I know.
That's my right.
I know it's your right, but that's also what gets you in trouble.
Well, whatever. I'm gladly, I'll put out the shekels to get a lawyer to show these cops that they every time they arrest me, what do they get? Nothing.
Right. Well, anyway.
Because they do it all wrong. You're harassing an innocent man.
I also have problems with authority. I have my whole life, and I still struggle with that. And I also, if I was going to have to say a blanket statement on whether I'm for or against cops, I would have to say the same thing. I don't fall on the side of policemen. But however, just being a cop doesn't make you. You're not the enemy just because you're a cop.
I understand that.
You still have.
You're the enemy if you're an asshole cop.
You still have.
There's a cop that I love. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that you still have the decision to make of how you're going to conduct your business. And the problem is that most of them decide to conduct it in a way that isn't right, you know? And that, like, here's the thing. Everybody's like all outraged that people are this whole anti-cop thing has been bubbling for the past year or so. And, you know, and all that shit's coming up. But these things don't come out of nowhere. You understand? People have been feeling this way from the police for a very long time. Now the public has a much stronger voice due to the internet, and their actual desires, their actual feelings are rising to the top. The water is rising to its own level, and it's not unsubstantiated. It is coming from something, and what it is the way that people have been treated by the police for the last 30 years. And it keeps getting worse and worse. And now they're militarized. Now they're riding around in SUV, like bulletproof SUVs with fucking bulletproof vests and assault rifles instead of just your friendly neighborhood cop. And they're more and more intimidating. And that's why people are freaking out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, am I a black man? No. Do I care?
Well, kind of. I mean, Sicilian.
Do I care if my life matters? No. Am I posting on the internet? No. But I can honestly tell you that when I'm in Hazlitt, just because they've heard things about me, I have no chance. I'm treated like shit from the jump. I'm never given a question that makes it seem like I can answer it like an honest person, because no matter what I said, it's not going to be believed. Whether it's the truth or not, which is mostly the truth because I have nothing to hide. These cops treat me like absolute dog shit until I find the one sweet spot that's actually going to let me talk to them normally. And it's usually me telling them that they're being assholes.
Right. And the problem with that is like I question their actual desire to rid the streets of unworthy individuals.
No, they just want to arrest you to make money.
It's just about money,
That's all it is.
That's the problem, you know. So instead of seeing somebody that may be, you know, into some bad activity, and you're thinking like they're going to be a harm to society,
no,
that's not it. They're looking at people.
I'm going to arrest him and be fucking super cop.
They're seeing dollar signs and yeah, right. That's exactly what it is. So that, you know. There's always going to be people on I see it on Facebook and on Twitter all the time, you know, for every person that's like, oh, you know, that's fucked up that the police did that. There's the person that's married to a cop or their father's a cop who's like, well, who's going to protect our, and I get both sides of it. Yeah. You know, and both sides, both extreme sides are probably a little off, you know, but there has to be something in the middle, you know, and that's what's going on.
And that's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not at all. And I think that's something that's going to come to a head in our lifetime. We're going to see that happen. You know, the government, the police and the government control over us as citizens is something that's going to be revolted against.
Yeah, I could totally see that happening.
Whether that's
totalitarian,
whether that's people running through the streets with fucking torches, or it's a cyber thing, or it's whatever it may be, or whatever it may how it happens. If things go on the way it's going right now, we're definitely going to experience that.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
And maybe that's what we need. You know, like. Because I don't, you know, the thing is that we are taught to be so afraid of things in this country.
Yeah,
that's why people are willing to give such control over to the government and to police, because they've grown up thinking, like I just dealt with somebody who was close in my life, that I lived with and was in love with for a while, and she was afraid of everything, and her mother was afraid of everything. They were afraid of life. They thought at every turn that they were going to get killed or raped, or I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get it. You know, like, But I think that's becoming more and more of the norm.
That's so weird.
So then these people who are like afraid of life in general, and they just think everything's dangerous and, oh my God, this is going to happen. Oh my God, this is going to happen. That they're more willing to give over to the police and to the government.
Because they're so scared shitless.
Yeah, because they're just like, protect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if you take away my rights as long as I feel that I'm bubble wrapped and that I'm not going to get hurt. That the imaginary boogeyman's not going to break into my fucking house and murder me in my sleep, which isn't going to happen.
Right.
And you know what? If it was going to happen, it's going to fucking happen anyway. But then, fucking put video cameras on every corner of every street in America. Watch everything that we're doing 24/7 a day just so I could feel safer.
Yeah,
it's
and
fucking
instead
ridiculous.
Of catching the bad guy, you send me a ticket for stealing an orange off of old man Willoughby's golf fucking fruit cart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and that's what it's about, right? Exactly. Now they fucking have the thing where I went to DC I went a few weeks ago, but I also went a few months ago with a friend of mine, and on the way out or on the way in, she was speeding. And she just got a ticket in the mail.
Yeah.
In the fucking mail.
The cameras of the red lights. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody pulled her over and summons her for speeding or wrote her a ticket. She just got a straight up ticket in the fucking mail saying that you're going over the speed limit. We have you on satellite. Pay this fucking shit.
Yeah.
That shit cannot stand.
No,
it can't.
No.
It just, I mean.
Like, what if it was another car and you picked up on the wrong car? I don't know. I have no idea how that works, but whatever. It makes me sick.
Yeah, right. I mean, everyone's, you have to actually pull somebody over, but here's the thing. Why is everybody dealing with it? What I'm getting at is why are people, I think that's what happens. And the people that are higher up know it, is that everybody's so, especially right now, everybody's so entrenched in their own lives, just trying to dig out of their own holes, just trying to survive their shitty marriages and their shitty children or their shitty jobs or their good jobs and their good children or whatever it may be, their illnesses, their mental defects, their drug addictions, their alcohol addictions, their food addictions, all the shit that everybody goes through, their internet addictions now, all these things that are just consume our lives on a daily basis. Everybody's just taking everything that they have just to be able to maintain that shit in their life, that when all these other things pop up, no one has the energy to be like, this is fucked up. We can't let this happen.
Because it's getting in their way of all their other fucking shit.
They get the ping, and I'm sure they do if they're red-blooded people, that they get the thing in their head where they're like, oh man, that's fucked up. That's an injustice. That shouldn't happen. But what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Fight it? They're just going to win anyway. So let's just let it go. And then, but the people that make these decisions know that. So they exploit that. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm all fucking pissed.
Nah, don't get upset. Just go watch a little Making Murderer. You'll be fine.
Yo, fuck that. Never again. I'm actually glad that has simmered down because I don't see it on every channel that I turn on. People aren't emailing me about it anymore.
Even though it is crushing all of our other episodes.
Oh, the one that we talked about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever. We'll have to wait for the next documentary to come out, and we'll just start commenting on that.
Start talking serious.
So I don't know how we got from football to government conspiracies or whatever I was just ranting about, but
yeah, that's how it goes, man.
But it is, and I've been saying this for a long time. We can't, and I think we talked about this on a few episodes ago. Mm-hmm. It's just America's not going to be able to continue the way that it is. It's not.
Yeah, we talked about the last serious one where we were talking about how the Roman Empire fell. What's going to make this new country where we've only been around for 200-300 years?
Right.
Break.
It's greed. It's
over, Johnny.
It's fucking greed.
It's good night, John boy.
And sooner or later, people are. I don't know. Something's going to happen.
I'm moving to Belize.
Are you?
Probably. Sounds good.
Start from scratch there, and then just start getting harassed by cops there.
I could speak a little Espanol.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
What can you say?
In Spanish?
Yeah, give the fucking people at home some Spanish.
What do you want? Give me something to say. I'll say it.
I don't know. I don't even know how to speak English, so.
Mi no hablo inglés.
Nice.
I don't know how to speak English. No, but there's some shit I could say. I could survive.
El sacapuntas.
I could put pencil sharpener.
Mi armario.
My locker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mi permite ir de cuatro de baño.
Yeah. Can I go to the bathroom? Mm-hmm. Although I've been told by people that that's not really how. I don't.
It can be lavatorio.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but whatever. That's the joint.
You could tell where my Spanish stopped because it's
Españolo.
all my Spanish that I know revolves around, can I get out of class somehow? Can I go to the bathroom? Can I go to my locker? Can I fucking, you know?
See, I got lucky because I worked in the construction business, so you're around a lot of Mexicans. So while
Is that lucky, really, though?
Well, no, but like while I'm working, I get to talk to them and I get to learn a little Spanish for free.
I get it.
Fuck a Rosetta.
Well, isn't your girlfriend of the Spanish equation?
Yeah, but I actually speak more Spanish than
Oh,
her.
she doesn't speak Spanish?
No, not at all.
I don't know.
Not at all.
I've never dated a Spanish woman.
Oh, man, you won't go back.
Maybe I'll put that on the list.
Put it on the list.
I'm out there. I'm searching.
I know you like it pinky, but bro, it's worth it.
I'm thinking about starting a like one of those what are those things called, like Tinder or something like that that all the kids use. I've never had a desire to be online.
Kids, it's normally like old people.
Okay, well, but I've never had the desire to do online dating, and I know some people it's worked for. A couple of friends got married through it and stuff. Not that I'm looking to get married ever, but I'm thinking that maybe even just material for the show.
Yeah,
I think
great.
I'm just gonna
I'll fucking sign up with you.
All right, let's just do it,
All right,
and then
let's Tinder it
see
up.
what. And I'm just gonna try to go on some fucking really bad dates, so at least I could come
I'm
back
not
here.
gonna actually go on the dates, but I just want to see who picks me.
Okay, no, but I'm
That'd
gonna go
be
on.
funny
I'm a
as
single
shit.
man.
You
and-
could have my dates and like just be like, hey, and the girl will be like, I am the dude. I am rich. That'd be so funny, bro.
Thank you for the offer, but I think I'm just gonna see what I can get on my own.
I know, but you never know. Double the pleasure.
I think on the when the episode where we had Biggie Smalls in here, at the end I was trying to bring this up just to try to keep some sort of conversation going, but it was failing miserably.
Yeah.
But I had this happen to me today also, is I went to the supermarket to get some produce and I walked in. And the just as soon as you walk into the supermarket, there's just this giant arc of like heart balloons and everything's red and everything's flowers.
Dude, my heart's ticking, buddy.
But I'm telling you,
I'm just gonna grab a handful and run out like at the end of the casino.
just get shot and just be throwing those stupid candy hearts all over the place.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I walked in, and this I think was what I was trying to say the other day, is I walked in, I saw it, I had an immediate sense of panic run through my whole body. Like it just shot through my body like, and then I realized, I don't have to deal with this shit.
Girlfriend,
like
bastard.
fucking, like I just don't have to deal with it. There's no serious girl in my life right now. And it was the most freeing feeling on the face of the earth. And I was like even walking past all the Valentine shit like, haha, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
You like rip
You're
over
cool.
her kiss, you're like pop.
Yeah, I might actually go get a bag of those fucking hearts and
Eat
just
the
eat
whole
them
fucking
because
thing.
I enjoy eating shitty sugar things. But yeah,
Nice.
it was like a good, and I'm sure there's people out there that are in love and married, and they probably enjoy Valentine's Day. They get away from their kids for a night and go eat heart-shaped raviolis
Romantic.
for 20 times the amount that they normally are, or whatever.
No doubt.
However, where I am in my life, it feels really good not to have to deal with that fucking relationship shit.
That's good.
It's just a freeing fucking feeling. So I don't
I'm
know.
happy for you.
I don't know. We've talked about Valentine's Day before. That's all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, I was trying to bring that up on the last episode, or the Biggie episode. and I
Yeah,
know-
the one with the guys.
Yeah.
Everyone had their own little input.
What's your plans? Are you doing anything?
Nah. I mean, we haven't really talked about it. We're going to a wedding on Friday, so I think that's kind of like around Valentine's Day, right?
It might
It
even
might
be
even
Valentine's
fucking-
Day.
No, it's the day. Oh, that's January.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, this is good radio. Just read a calendar on the air.
No, it's Valentine's Day Saturday, so I'm looking at wedding on Friday, waking up, it being Valentine's Day, and me just being like, sorry, bro. I don't know. My love is enough. She knows I love her.
Oh, that's so sweet.
She does, but she's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Does she listen to the show?
Yeah,
Well, there you go. You just gave her a Valentine's Day card on the show.
exactly.
We'll
I told all them other bitches they got nothing.
we'll be doing one more show before Valentine's Day.
They ain't getting that.
Valentine's
They
Day.
ain't getting that left turn at the Flatiron.
Ah, man, the fucking
Flatron.
Flatron. I can't believe we said that like a
That's
bunch
what
of
that was
fucking
me.
dicks.
It sounded so right.
I know. And I assume, there's things that we say sometimes, or I shouldn't even say we, because I'm definitely dumber.
I was gonna say me.
Oh, dude, I say stupid shit all the time on
Really?
this. But then I'll literally think of it like, I'll say it, and then we'll be on to another topic, and it'll hit me, and I'll be like, oh, man, like, God damn it, you said Flatron
That's
building?
all right. That's all right.
So, I don't know. But,
I miss your taste and your see-through.
anyway, thanks for
Taste.
smell and the way you roll.
And the way you roll.
Twist, twist.
No.
Everything's about pot in this song. Trying to find one line that you can't bring back to pot, and I'll pay you.
No, I know.
Right.
Let's listen to the next verse before I do the.
The next verse.
Before I
is
start begging people to follow us on Twitter.
Oh, it is QQQ, one after another.
I think that's my favorite one.
In your tight white dress. That's a doober.
Right.
Well, the rest speaks for itself.
So many smoke-filled years have passed.
Right.
Wrapped in paper inside glass. My eyes were red.
A joint or a bowl.
You were here, but now you're not, and they're clear, my dear.
It's genius shit. Thank you for listening to the Awkward High Five
Thank
podcast.
you.
Follow us on Twitter. Awkward AHI5.
Just leave a review. It takes 2 seconds.
Go on review, subscribe, leave a review. We'll have a party, all that stuff that you hear every episode. And but we will see you guys on Friday, right?
Get out there and bruise a clit, my man.
With love, with bread, wanna smoke you up. Even though my chest hurts, smoke you up. Get more pain, less, wanna smoke you up. Hit him my best and my love. Surrounded by seeds, I'm lost in the trees. My thirst and hunger seem to increase. The music we made is one to be loved. Every time I dream.
Thanks for listening to the Awkward High Five podcast. For more episodes, visit awkwardhigh5.com.